Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries, it's me, Bradley G, here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the World Nerve Center headquarters of Synergy Cafe. And this is kind of fun. I've got one of my wealthy affiliate friends on today, and he's down in someplace warm in a place called Costa Rica. Have you ever heard of it? So I'm going to go get him. His name is Jeremy, and he actually hails from north of me in Canada, and now he's down there in Costa Rica. So stand by. I'm going to go get our friend Jeremy. There he is, Mr. Jeremy. How you doing there, buddy?
Hola, amigo. How are you?
Oh, you speaking Spanish now and everything. Eh?
Yeah, eh? That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta
Hola,
learn.
eh?
You gotta learn certain language, so it's necesito to be, professional.
Well, they appreciate that. I know I appreciate it when the Canadians come down to the United States and they don't speak that Canadian stuff.
We've become accustomed to knowing that Google Translate is your friend.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I've even seen things on TikTok now with the technology with the earbuds where supposedly it just translates the language for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. So how long have you been down there in Costa Rica?
We had an eventful start leaving Canada on October the 27th, and
Oh,
we drove down the Pan American Highway with trusty truck and RV in tow all the way down. We arrived on November the 29th. So
wow.
it
That is
took us a month.
an adventure.
Yeah.
You had to go through.
Through
I didn't
through a lot of borders.
definitely that. Was it scary at all?
It was at first it didn't I didn't know what to expect. So a lot of transitions had to be kind of adjusted on the fly. So for example, getting into Mexico was the first transition where the roads and signs do not matter. Traffic is all over the place. There's no street lights in a lot of these areas.
Right.
So you drive like a local or you just drive like a tourist. And I figured out how to drive like a local first,
Okay.
which 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 got me to Guatemala with a broken trailer hitch.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. We ended up bending our trailer hitch in Mexico, the very last leg of our journey. So I had to get it welded, or at least pretend to get it welded there. And then we crossed into Guatemala, and I got to a campsite, and we got it basically replaced, brand new materials, and that helped. And then we left Guatemala, made it into El Salvador, hence the hat, El Salvador.
okay.
And we got there just across the border, maybe by 12 kilometers, and I hit another speed bump, and it was enough stress and pressure on that hitch to bend it and break one of the welds. So we ended
Wow.
up getting that repaired in El Salvador twice. Uh, and then we limped the rest of the way from there to through Nicaragua and here into Costa Rica. So it was, like I say, an adventure for sure.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was probably some unexpected stuff that you just got to kind of acclimate and deal with, right?
When life gives you lemons, Yeah.
So what stimulated this? Was this whole the domain here, the Flyfish Costa Rica thing? Is that what
That's
stimulated this trip?
that's part of it. I was offered this summer during our camping season to kind of take over and maintain this website, and it's from one of the local campers that came down. So, ironically enough, when he was there, he filled me in about his fly fishing trips and things that he does here in this beautiful, lush green jungle, And so, what intrigued me is is the fact that this website kind of had a nice design that I could take over, make it more user friendly, I guess. But what I wanted to do was to see it firsthand. We wanted to experience being there and actually seeing what's behind the scenes, of course.
Right. And as you say that, it's interesting because I was thinking, okay, Costa Rica's got a lot of jungle. And behind you, when you're fly fishing, you got to have some room behind you to be able to do all that stuff. Now, if there's palm trees all over the place, you tangle your line out.
There's lots of nooks and crannies on the river, the Rio Nino river, which stands for, what did I just figure out here? What it actually stands for? I wrote it down. Little River, Rio Nino. There we go.
Yes.
So yeah, it's an interesting thing to go on that river and see the majestic wildlife and everything on it, or just participate in fly fishing, which is what this guy offered us to do. So, yeah.
So, what kind of fish do you catch in Costa Rica?
So, of the freshwater fish, they're the most important, not important, the most top catching fish of Costa Rica catching is, and I wrote this down because I can't pronounce half of these words. So guapote, guapote is what it's called. It's the most common. It's a rainbow bass. Okay.
Huh.
And then the next couple of big time favorite common fish are machaca, 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 or tarpon. So if you wanted to Google what guapote, machaca, or tarpon look like, that's what you mostly catch in the freshwater side.
Tarpon, isn't that like the tarpon? Aren't those the big flat ones?
They have really wonky teeth, yes. So on that website, there's a lot of great pictures that do stimulate what you're to see. So, and there's actually
tilapia. Is tilapia?
They are also here. They're more like a farm-raised pond kind of a fish.
Yeah, that's what I understood. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't see them floating on the big rivers, and if you do, it's someone threw them from their pond into there. But I don't know how they would withstand the other fish species in there. Interesting question.
So do they do fly fishing, I guess, more in the ocean as well, or just streams?
There is saltwater fly fishing tours here available as well. That's one thing that we as Rio Nino Outfitters will not participate in because of the location. Now, I guess the owner might have another suggestion. He might decide that, hey, yeah, let's venture our business into the ocean type of fly fishing, but it's more common inland than out.
I suppose when you start getting into the saltwater stuff with freshwater gear, you get right into the salt situations. That's not good for the.
And I think the gear is in also the flies and the bait are they change drastically too.
Fascinating. It's interesting to bring up the fly fishing thing because I with Wealthy Affiliate, I grabbed a domain for fly fishing as well. I haven't built mine out yet, but something about fly fishing is in my head.
It's a business that apparently in Costa Rica has the potential. The ecotourism model in Costa Rica, so anything with fly fishing, any adventure type of sport, is to grow by 13% by 2030, from what I just read. So, yeah.
So businesses you classify fly fishing as adventure?
Good question. Good question.
I can see zip lining maybe, or it seems like the deep sea fishing stuff.
Well, there is a lot of adventure related things here. Like I see a lot of the tourists stick to, the volcano hikes and the national parks that are numerous of the wildlife. But I mean, one of the float tours we offer, you basically are floating down the Amazon. You get to experience all the wildlife, the monkeys, the sloths, you name it. They're there. You'll see it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got this friend that's in the Osa region down there, and that's kind of jungle territory down there, and you hear those howler monkeys screaming, and the lapas, the macaws, and the toucans.
Yeah, the toucans are yeah.
The first time I saw a toucan was in Brazil, and it was so weird seeing them fly because they got that big long beak, and it doesn't seem like they could fly. It seemed like they would flip over because that beak is so long. They seem out of balance.
Yeah. Just follow your nose.
Oh yeah, you got that too, the Fruit Loops, right?
Yeah.
So how much longer are you gonna stay down there?
Well, we're like every tourist that comes here, you're 6 months. It's now moved from 3 months. You can actually stay for 6 if you chose to. We got to be back in Canada by April for our season, of course, to start for the camping season. But yeah, it's all kind of a day-to-day basis at this point, because we've just decided this is our first actual annual, we're going to call it an annual family vacation. So it's something.
So you're not getting kicked out of there in 6 months. You're actually willingly leaving to go take care of some business.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if I had my way, I'd say I would love to just stay full time. But there's a process supposedly to move down here permanently, and we're not quite there yet.
Is that something you're considering?
I mean, if you like the hot heat and the jungle and the constant reminder that you're nowhere near snow, then yes, it's a very good option. I had a buddy of mine in Yuma, Arizona, actually just text me a couple of minutes before we got live here, and he says it's -1 this morning, Celsius, of course. And I just chuckled, and I said, it's Yuma, Arizona. That's desert. I got 27 degrees here. I'm not complaining,
Yeah, it's wild.
It is.
Yeah, we're gonna do an event center down there in the jungle, and we had it all surveyed and everything, and then that pandemic thing happened and stopped it all. So it's probably all grown over. We had it all surveyed out, but it's probably all grown over now.
Yeah. No, the property that I'm on right now is actually set up to be a glamping campground. So the event tents and platforms here are just phenomenally set up, and the view, you want to have a look at this view, it's just spectacular. Like, you can see volcanoes in the background if you can. I don't know, somewhere beyond those clouds.
Yeah.
But definitely, working on my tan. Should be working at fly fishing, but I'm working on my tan instead.
Well, you'll get back at it. Have you done fly fishing down there yet?
So I have never ever fly fished ever, and the best part is like with Fly Fish CR, you are able, like, the local guide has so much knowledge. He's been doing this for years, and he basically can take any beginner and make them a professional after a certain period of time, of course. But one of the nice features that we've just most recently witnessed with this area, the company that built in the location. So the location is in Upala, which is one of the northern parts of Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
And he just finished renovating an old church and has turned it into a fishing lodge. So now
Oh,
he
wow.
offers services for not just fly fishing, but the lodge itself can accommodate up to 8 people comfortably. Comes with its own cook and room cleaners and stuff like that. So you can now actually go fishing and enjoy a great place to sleep. Yeah.
Right. So you could do like even company team building kind of things if there's everybody
You
wants to.
definitely could. You definitely could. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Such a great location. Great time to be had by all. And if you love fly fishing, hey, you get the best of all worlds, really.
Yeah, I've only been down there, I think, twice in Costa Rica. I was in Guanacaste and then spent some time down there in the Osa region down there. We were going to do a photographer's retreat, get a bunch of guys
Yeah.
to come down there with their cameras and take pictures of stuff.
Well, you could go and do that now. Stay at the lodge and learn fly fishing at the same time.
There you go. You can take pictures of yourself fly fishing.
Yeah.
It's a fly fishing retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the meantime, you just sit back, relax, enjoy the rainy season, which should be ending anytime now. I guess we're approaching dry season. It's theoretically from December to April in Costa Rica.
So you're you're in the rainy season now because it doesn't look like it's raining. It looks cloudy back there.
No, no. Since we got here, though, it's been raining probably 95% of the time. But today's one of those weird anomaly days that it's been nice out, so I'm taking advantage of it.
So is it one of those things where it like rains all day long, or does it come in and go?
More or less, it'll rain all day long. So our first, I want to say week, it was nice light drizzles all day long until probably a week ago, where it's decided that it wanted to heavy downpours 2 or 3 hours, and then it lets up for maybe an hour of cloudiness, and then it just pours again. But,
okay. So it's good to know the people down there because they know the seasons, and you don't want to schedule your much deserved vacation when it's going to be nothing but rain unless you're into that kind of thing.
That's right. And that's why you see an uptick of people starting to come visit between now and February. Tourist season. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that?
It's a magic.
Huh?
No, I was listening for you here. What were you saying?
I was saying that Costa Rica is about the size of Minnesota, where I live.
That I did not know.
I didn't know that either because I thought it was like a big country, but it's not. It's the size of our state.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I first found out you can drive through Central America, that was reason enough for me to try it.
Even though you went through 3 hitches, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when that happened, how did you figure it out? Would you just ask around and someone says, yeah, talk to my friend. He can weld it up for you.
Well, so ironically, the first time that it happened in Mexico, the people that were nearby they call themselves border helpers. So they help you across the border from one country to the next. And there's several border helpers that help out at each country. And they have this weird thing called a cell phone that they take pictures of you and your vehicle and send it on to their friends at the other border.
Okay.
To kind of look out for you. So as it happened, this helper kind of knew of a welder that was local in the area, and he got him involved and came out and assessed the hitch and then fixed it for us. So that was the first time. So when we crossed Mexico into Guatemala, we stayed in Guatemala probably 5-ish days just to reassess and everything else. And by the time we got to the Guatemala El Salvador border, there was already somebody there that was waiting for us that knew us based upon our vehicle and picture of us, and they were ready to help. And I said, how did you guys know? Well, besides the fact I got tourist written all over me with a camper, but he pointed out, he said, I got a picture from our friend over there. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But the key advice with border helpers is, although they're efficient in helping you get across the borders, you have to be aware of what they're actually charging you for. So set up an upfront cost of roughly $20 US to get them to help you cross the border. And then that does not include the fees that you would normally pay to get you across. Things like fumigation fees, the insurance, vehicle insurance, and then getting your passport.
That's just their service fee.
Their service fee, exactly.
Yeah.
The first quarter we learned our lesson, they overcharged us their service fee, and we got hosed. But that's another story.
Yeah, I ran into that one. We used to vacation in Jamaica, and all the Jamaicans want to help carry our luggage, and we didn't like it at first. And then we realized that, you know what? We're paying the porter at the Minneapolis airport $20. Why can't we give these guys 10?
Exactly. And that $10 is probably a lot better.
Yeah. Once you get over it. Well, Jeremy, we've gone for about 21 minutes, and I like to keep these a little tighter so they're consumable.
Sure. Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers about Flyfish CR?
Yeah, if you're interested in experiencing a majestical place of a lifetime, Costa Rica is your place. And if you're all about adventure like I am, drive down, because it is fun. And and for what it's worth, if you want to try fly fishing, well, there's the website. Right there. From beginner to family, doesn't matter. You decide, you come on down. And other than that, Merry Christmas. That's coming up too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to stick around in the green room, I've got some digital hors d'oeuvres in the green room. We always have that, the locale stuff.
Perfect.
So go ahead and help yourself. Other than that, I'm going to put you in the green room, and if you want to stick around, we can chat a little bit later. I'm just going to sign this off, buddy. Thank you. There you have it, our friend Jeremy with Flyfish CR, and CR stands for Costa Rica. And it's a very interesting country in that they don't have a military. They gave up their army because they probably have the big brother United States take care of them. But it's like mostly water energy, so it's sustainable down in Costa Rica. It's a very interesting space. So that's all we've got for now. I appreciate you guys taking the time. So be good, be kind, be nice, and thank you for joining us at Synergy Cafe. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye. Oops, sorry. Keep pushing these buttons. That's it.